My book, Emotional Design, had on its cover Philippe Starck's Juicy Salif, which is a lemon juicer, not to be used for actually making lemon or orange juice. In fact, I have the gold-plated version of this. It comes with a little booklet that says, please do not use this juicer to make juice, because the acid might ruin the gold plate. But I gave this as a gift to all of the people in the Nielsen Norman group, and one of them immediately personalized it and sent back this photograph. And again, it's the ability to personalize that makes something yours, this Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Or these cars. Now that's a concept car on the bottom, but that's a pretty special concept car. But we're starting to move into the world of automation, where your car gets frightened, right? I'm driving along, and I see in my car is a Porsche, and I'm driving on a fancy curved, winding mountain road, and I'm really enjoying the ride, and I look at my wife, and her feet are braced against the front wall, and her hands are braced up, and what's the matter, I say? Calm down, I know what I'm doing, I'm in control. Now, what if I were driving a newer car? Mine is 10 years old, so to assume a newer car, you know, with all of the fancy adaptive cruise control and other crash warning features. I'm driving along, and suddenly I notice my car is scared. My seat straightens up, my seat belts tighten, the shocks get higher. Can I tell my car, relax, I know what I'm doing? No, I have no choice. And the Lexus is a TV camera that looks at you. And if it looks like you're not paying attention to the road, the Lexus just brakes. So we have cautious cars and frightened passengers. And as I said, that's a whole other talk, which I won't do now. But let me talk about the problem of design in the cockpit and the behavioral issues, because the cockpit is getting more and more complicated. And BMW realized that this was getting so complex, so we got to solve it. So they said, we have the solution. We replace all of those knobs and switches and stuff with one little screen and one little knob. Very logical, orderly. Why? It's as easy to use as your computer. Like the simple, how easy it was for me to turn on these slides and use them. Why? With this one knob, they said you could control 700 functions. I didn't know I had to control 700 things about my car. And as the reviews have come in, I tried to live with iDrive and fell madly and passionately in hate with it. Motor Trend. Well, yeah. Synergistically, a driver can adjust the air conditioning and locate the nearest Dairy Queen on the same screen. That's what it lets you do. Nobody's asked why on earth you would ever want to do that. And if you look at the BMW, it doesn't even look that much cleaner. It still has a lot of stuff there. Well, Mercedes is not going to let BMW get away with that. So Mercedes now, leave the driving to the microchips. There's the Mercedes. Actually, it does look kind of smooth and clean, and it has a knob that controls it. The review says, take the front seats. You can spend 15 minutes fiddling with them before even starting the car. Over a dozen buttons devoted to the front seats alone. We're in trouble, people. Now, in this case, it's fortunate it's Mercedes that's in trouble. But in fact, this is happening to everybody, because as customers want more and more features, the obvious answer is to add more controls to each of those features. And that gets to be this horrible complexity. And the obvious answer to those controls is to add, a computer menu screen, so you could easily get to all of those things. No, that's not the way to go. Or as the Mercedes one says, 700-page owner's manual? Now, look at that. First of all, any ergonomicist in this audience, any human factors expert will tell you that's a recipe for disaster on the bottom. Identical looking controls, a whole row of them. So you're driving along at high speed and you want to hit one of those controls. You want to hit, I don't know what does it mean, R-E-S-T, rest? I could use that. How are you going to pick out the one you want? Driving at high speed with one hand, poking it from an angle, with parallax confusing the location of the label and the button. This is not good design, even though it may look clean and neat. Yeah, I also point out, look at that picture. Now tell me if you want to change how loud the radio is. We'll go back to the picture. Radio. How would you change the loudness of the radio? The way it's being done is very logical. You go to the menu and you select entertainment systems, and then you select radio, and then you select volume, and then you select higher or lower. Sheesh. So that's our challenge for the future.